cold morning getting started. On our way over to get dumped. I want to make a quick video about what not to do. Don't do this. So there's two customers that I don't pursue. Now, it might be different in your area and you might find a good contact that fits in this. That's fine. This is just what I don't do. I do not contact or try to create relations with contractors or property managers. And the reason I don't do, or realtors for the most part, the reason I don't, realtors I do, but they never pan out as good. But contractors and property managers are the worst, and here's why, is because the contractors don't really see value in what we do. They have dumpsters that they'll rent. Now, don't get me wrong, I do have a couple contractors that love to use us. I have a fence contractor that she gives us full loads, you know, when she needs to dispose of like wooden fences. When it's metal, she handles it, which is totally fine. But so I do have relationships, but I don't pursue them. And the reason is because they don't see much value and they're cheap. They're so cheap. They will try and talk you down no matter what. Like, it's just, and it just becomes not so profitable. So I just don't. And same with property managers. They want you to come out there and basically clean up all the furniture that was tossed in their dumpster area for like 50 bucks. I'm just not that guy. So I don't even pursue those relationships. I focus my time on other areas. Now, there's lots of junk removal companies that will tell you to do that, and they will say that I'm crazy, don't listen to me. That's fine. I'm saying as a general rule, I don't pursue those relationships. I focus on creating other ones that actually will pay or pay more, that are more profitable. I'll spend my time and money somewhere else, and you'll tie yourself up getting nickel and dimed by those guys if you try and pursue that. So I don't. Maybe you're in a small area and you're limited, you know, so you have to do that. That's fine. I should add what I do, though. Well, you know, aside from my paid leads, which just, you know, kind of force feeds calls, you know, through the door. When I'm trying to pick up business, one place or one type of place that I have found is really profitable and that I do go after are businesses like these. Businesses like this, distributing, wholesale. They have trucks. They probably have trash in the back right now. Pallets and all kinds of things. And you can walk through their door and you can talk to them, and that's just an example. We just happen to be driving by them, but usually big warehouse or distribution type buildings that have roll-up bay doors, or places that have a whole bunch of garbage in the back. And all I do is I walk in, hat and shirt, in uniform. You know, you go in. If there's two of you, even better, because you're uniformed up. And just hand them a flyer. Make a little flyer. Go to canva.com. Make it for free. Print it out on glossy paper so it looks all right. Don't just do like a black and white or like a handwritten thing, you know. Go in there looking professional. Have business cards. Drop it off. I've gotten more full loads and business out of doing just that than all my pursuit of contractors and property managers. It's worthwhile. And when you get it, it's worthwhile. And then if you get enough of those, because they'll do your pickups or your cleanouts like once or twice a year. So as you start to build those up, they will call you back, you know. And then I've had them even ask me, hey, do you do snow removal? So I'll do accounts where I'll do, you know, I'll lay down salt or scoop up the snow. Now I tell them I don't remove it, but I'll scoop it. That's what I did when I was slow anyway, first starting. I don't do that anymore. But as you're looking for business, if it's slow, you can do that. There's no reason I wouldn't if I was slow. It's just, and then I do it by square footage, and I still keep my minimum. There was one business that said they had a little spurt of sidewalk. It was just a little sidewalk, and I'm like, that's fine, but my minimum is $125 to come out, and then based on time, you know, is how I would grade that, how much I charge them. And so what that means is, okay, if a full load is 2 hours of labor, then a half load is 1 hour of labor, $3.99. And then if it's, you know, an eighth of a load, however long that should take you, if it's 15 minutes, 20, so, you know, $125, $175, and you charge it. And these businesses will pay it. They're used to big tickets. They know. Just throw the price out. You're not going to get every one of them, and there's a lot of them who might do it themselves or turn their nose up at you, and that's okay. You know, but you just market. It's a numbers game. Sales is a contact sport. You just get in front of them, get in front of them. Furniture places have a lot of dumping a lot of the time because people don't know what to do with their old furniture, and they got these big dumpsters in the back. Some of them will use you to clear that out. Pallets. People buy pallets so you can get paid to remove pallets and go and pick those up. All of this stuff I like to do. I like to chase businesses because they're bigger tickets. You know, you get what you pursue. I've worked with agents, but then what happens is the agent is on the seller's side, right? And all they're doing is just, oh, I'm going to get you the cheapest one because they want to look like the best agent, and that's fine. But you're not going to get the best deals from agents because of that. The best deals that I've gotten are clean outs when they're trying to flip or sell a house. I do get that sometimes, and I do have agents that I work with for clean outs. I did a couple of videos on clean outs. Those came from agents. So by no means am I saying agents don't have business or contractors don't have business. I'm saying I don't pursue them because the majority of them are a waste of time. Hope you guys understand that, you know. But those are a few things that I do. Another one I hear people talk about is storage units, and I don't pursue them either. Now I've had storage units. I do a lot of storage units clean outs. Usually it's from the renter needing to clean out their unit, and they have to do it before the month turns over. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. Like if you can't fit it in your schedule before the month turns over or get it done right away, then usually they're like, well, I'm gonna have to pay for another month, so I'll just call you later. So that can happen, so be careful of that. But as far as the storage unit, like property managers, the management, it's not usually that great because you have, most people will auction off those units, and when they don't have that in place, see, I got a call from a storage unit manager, and they were like, hey, come clean out the unit, you know, no problem. And I'm like, great. And then I got a call back immediately, and they said, oh, actually we have something in place for that. And we, you know, they had a U-Haul that they rent, and somebody came down and emptied them out. So it's been problematic. It's not been that great. I don't get a lot of business from that. So, you know, if you're going to focus your time and you want a bunch of sales right now, wouldn't go after storage units either. There's a lot of competition out there. So when you're chasing after real estate agents, you're going to compete with a lot of the other people. And I know that like Sonoma Strong says go after agents. They have a lot of agents under their belt. Now, I'm not saying don't go do it. I mean, if that's what you've got, then you got to do it, you know. I just found them not to be profitable. I choose to go a different route. This is what I do. People ask me, the reason I'm addressing this is because people keep asking me how I have a higher average sale. My average sale is over $400. So the reason is because I pursue that. And, you know, when I have people call me and they're trying to fight for like the lowest, you know, the lowest deal, I don't do that. So, you know, I'll just wait for the ones who they don't mind or they have more. You know, there's tons of junk out there, guys. Like you'll get another deal. So, and when you walk into those big businesses, what you're often going to hear, well, first of all, you want to make sure you're talking to the right person. You want to talk to the manager. You don't want to talk to what's called a gatekeeper. That's somebody who blocks you from the manager, doesn't want you to talk to them. It's pretty easy. I mean, I just go in there, especially those distribution centers. They're not used to walk-in sales. You walk in, they'll have a front counter where they probably sell things there. I've even seen security doors where you can't get in, and I'm like knocking on the glass. And they come over and they're like, huh, what are you doing? But anyways, I just tell them, hey, I saw you guys have a bunch of crap in the back. That's what we do, is we get rid of that for you so you don't have to rent a dumpster. You know, I just wanted to give you this. And oh yeah, great, okay, you know, and make sure, you know, do you have a manager here who addresses those things? You know, or maybe, hey, yeah, that's me, or whatever. But no matter, you want to talk to the right person, right? The one who makes the decision, right? Call them the DM, the decision maker. Don't want to talk to a gatekeeper, because all they'll do is and they get your information and they either won't pass it on, or they go to their manager and say, hey, a guy said for $600 he'll pick up stuff in the back, you know, and they're not going to call you. So make sure you're pitching to the right person, and just go up there and just say, hey, this is what we do, so you don't have to rent a dumpster, you know, we do it all for you. And then what they're going to say, more than likely, 9 times out of 10, they're going to say, okay, I got to run this up and get it approved. I'll let you know. And they seriously have to do that. So that's a good thing. If they're willing to do that, just give them your card, give them your flyer. What I don't do is have them take a picture of our price sheet. if they ask for that. So just have the flyer and just, you know, kind of make that. But I don't drop off price sheets, because all they'll do is take that and go price shop you. But they will run it up, get it approved, and then they will call you back and let you know if they want your service or not. And sometimes they do, and that's how I get them. So anyways, I hope that helps as well. Let me give you guys an example. We're here about to bid out one of these. It's a lower end apartment complex, duplexes, and they've got a ton of yard debris, and we're probably not going to get this one, but they've got a ton. Right? And there's more in the back. There's more back here. All right, I got this and all of these logs and more. It's cold, guys. We had a freeze last night and frost on the ground, but we work in the cold. But anyways, that's what I'm talking about. So we're gonna bid this out. She's not gonna want us to do it. It's gonna be too much. They want what's cheap, especially a property manager of places like this. They just always have so much. We never get them because they want us to come in here for 100, 200 bucks and clean those out. And I'm not kidding. And sometimes people might, you know, commit to do that or something, but heck no, man. We've had problems where they told us to do it, and then we show up, and then we call them to confirm, because, and I'm glad we did, because they're like, oh, you didn't pick it up, did you? Because we're not going to pay, it's too much. I've had so much happen. Property managers don't see the value. So this is just a prime example. They're going to go a different route. They've got their tenants back there burning it in a burn pile. She's not going to pay. I mean, this is at least 3 loads, at least, and that's if we cram it in. So we'll see what happens, but that's a prime example of what I'm talking about. Well, go figure. We ended up getting this job for $2,000. So anyways, like I said, I don't make it the rule though. They got another tip for people that were asking, you know, when you get these big bids, you know, $2,000 for a job or something, what do you do? Do you have contracts? Do you send them anything? So I use House Call Pro. I don't do contracts or anything like that, but one smart thing I've been doing lately is when I do a bid, I will have either their cell phone or their email, because they'll be in our system as an appointment. And if you have House Call Pro, I don't know how it will work with other systems, but with House Call Pro, you can convert them to an estimate. So you put it on there as an estimate, $2,000, whatever you're charging for the job, and then you text or email it to them, okay? And when you do that, House Call Pro will ask them to confirm it. And you get them to confirm it. If they confirm it, you're good to go. That's the same as a contract. You have something that's proof that you did a job for them. You can send them to collections if it comes down to that. I've never had to do that. But anyways, it's a good alternative to writing up contracts. So you go into House Call Pro, there's a little thing that says convert it to an estimate. You convert it to an estimate and you can send it to them. Okay, you can send it to them via text or email. And then just say, hey, just confirm the estimate that's what you want to do. And you can do it right there on the spot, and they'll confirm it and send it back to you, and you're good to go. It's just like them feeling like they signed something or whatnot. So I hope that helps. Here's a tip for you guys: if you're having trouble uniforming up, you know, you don't want to buy shirts or a hat, something that looks good, or you can't afford it, or don't have them or whatever, or even if you do and you just want to look a little bit more professional. You know, almost at every state now, I'm pretty sure you have to wear these vests. And when you show up with a safety vest on at someone's door, when you're knocking on the customer's door, they just kind of automatically categorize you as a professional or contractor. I mean, it's just something about the vest. When I do house cleanouts, I don't have uniforms for all the guys that I hire, the little contractors that I'll just hire for the day, and everybody gets put in a vest. And it helps uniform everybody without requiring a uniform, because if you require a uniform, they are W-2 employees. So that's a little tip that I can give you guys. Wear one of these when you show up to somebody's house. You'll look professional. It'll feel better. They'll respond to you better. Also, if you have 1099 people, you can just have them get in the vest instead of giving a shirt to them. If you give them a shirt and a hat and make them wear it, you have to W-2 them. You can't 1099 them. Oh, and where to get them. So basically every dump that you go to, as soon as you do your first dump, if you don't have one, they'll sell you one for $5 here. I don't know what they are in your area, but $5 is super cheap for one of these vests. Not that they're expensive, but I mean, you can't even order something online. Shipping alone is gonna be $5. But you can order it online, and I'm sure they have them for 10 bucks, 15 bucks. You could just order one size fits all and get one for now until you do a job or two and then buy a better one or whatever. So you can get it from the dump, you can order it online, you can go into Walmart. I think they have safety vests. I'm not sure. But anyways, Home Depot, Lowe's should have them. So I hope that helps. Coming back to you with some more tips. Is cheap the way to go? Do you really want that? Listen, when you start building your customer base, do you want to retain customers that are cheap? I don't. So, you know, the customers that use you, start to like you, you know, those are gonna be the ones that'll call you back in the future that you build your base on. And, you know, you can try and be the cheapest guy or discount, you know, to do cheaper work for people. And sure, they'll call you again. Do you really want that? Like, you know, are you okay going out to, you know, an apartment complex just to, you know, pick up a couch and a chair, you know, 50 bucks? You know, that's, I mean, me personally, I'm not gonna do that. So, you know, be careful out there. You don't want to be the cheapest, and you don't want to retain customers like that either. You want to retain customers that call you out, that value your work, and that realize what it takes to run a junk removal business. Otherwise they would do this themselves. Okay, so you want people who will actually, you know, they pay up. You also want people with money. You don't want people who are broke all the time, can't pay their bills, and try and write you a check and bounce it, right? Or you run a card 3 times. Like, I've not had trouble on my bigger accounts. It's always the smaller ones where they try and run the card and it declines, and they got to go to the next card and it declines, and that's not something that you want, is it? Right? So don't be cheap. Just realize that you can't get every deal, and that's okay. It's okay not to get every deal. You actually don't want to be too busy with those little cheap ones when the big one comes around, right? I would turn down 5 or 6 calls just to get that one $2,000 job, right? Or even a $600 job. So think about that. Don't be cheap, and don't try and be the cheap guy every time, because, and then you'll get inundated with phone calls with a bunch of people who just want that cheap stuff because you know, word spreads. They're like, hey, call this guy, he'll do it for nothing. You know what I mean? So, and there's plenty of those guys out there. Just let them do it, and you just stick to what makes money, you know, what's profitable. And there's also those people that will book that job with you, and they will cancel with you in a heartbeat if somebody says they'll do it for 10 bucks less. Okay, happens all the time. So, you know, just remember that. You don't want people who are just, it's a race to the bottom, because that just means you're at the bottom. You know, you want people who value your work, who are not going to, you know, just be flaky and be tough to deal with, okay? You know, there's a difference between somebody who makes a deal with you, where you make a deal on the spot, versus somebody who's trying. That's why I don't do text-a-ments. You know, somebody who's just, hey, just only text me. I want your price. I want your price. I don't deal with somebody like that because they're jerks. I don't like dealing with jerks. I like cool people. That's how I got, in my opinion, 100 5-star ratings in like 8 or 9 months. It's really hard to get those, but you deal with good people and you get them. So anyways, hope that helps.